The ocean is a deceiving expanse. On the surface, it is a restless, chaotic barrier of waves and wind, patrolled by gray steel hulls of destroyers and the floating cities we call aircraft carriers. But beneath that turbulent skin lies a different world entirely. It is a world of crushing pressure, eternal darkness, and absolute silence. In this abyssal void, the true balance of global power is maintained not by the loud posturing of diplomats, but by the silent glide of a leviathan. Deep in the Pacific, or perhaps lurking under the ice of the Arctic, a vessel larger than many World War II destroyers is moving at 25 knots, yet it makes less noise than a shrimp snapping its claws. This is the USS Ohio. To the casual observer, she is a relic of the Cold War, a metal tube designed in the 1970s. But to the naval strategists in Beijing and Moscow, she is a ghost story brought to life. A platform so lethal, so versatile, and so invisible that she fundamentally alters the calculus of war. To understand why this single class of ship causes sleepless nights in the Kremlin and the Forbidden City, one must first grasp the sheer audacity of her engineering. The Ohio-class submarine is a behemoth stretching 560 feet from bow to stern. Displacing over 18,000 tons when submerged, she is a feat of naval architecture that rivals the complexity of a spacecraft. At her heart beats a pressurized water nuclear reactor, a marvel of physics that allows her to operate independent of the atmosphere. She does not need to surface for air. She does not need to refuel. Her range is limited only by the amount of food that can be stored in the pantries for her crew of 155 sailors. She is a true creature of the deep, capable of vanishing for months at a time, becoming a hole in the water that no sonar can easily fill. For decades, the Ohio and her 17 sister ships had a singular, terrifying purpose: the end of the world. They were built as SSBNs, ballistic missile submarines. Each hull was packed with 24 Trident II D5 missiles, and each of those missiles carried multiple independent nuclear warheads. A single Ohio-class submarine carried enough destructive potential to incinerate every major city in the Northern Hemisphere. They were the silent enforcers of mutually assured destruction, prowling the oceans as the ultimate insurance policy. If the United States were struck, the Ohio would rise from the depths and deliver a retaliatory blow that would erase the aggressor from history. But the world changed. The Berlin Wall fell, the Soviet Union collapsed, and the monolithic threat of global thermonuclear war receded, replaced by a fractured landscape of rogue states, terrorism, regional power struggles. The Navy faced a dilemma. They possessed the ultimate doomsday machines, but they were living in a world that required surgical precision, not planetary annihilation. It was in this pivot that the true genius of American naval power revealed itself. Instead of scrapping the oldest 4 boats of the class, the USS Ohio, Michigan, Florida, and Georgia, the Navy decided to conduct radical surgery. They stripped these vessels of their nuclear burden. The silos that once held the instruments of Armageddon were gutted and reimagined. In their place, engineers installed the 7-shot canister system. This conversion birthed the SSGN, the guided missile submarine. And this is the specific configuration that terrifies near-peer adversaries today. When the USS Ohio leaves port now, she is no longer carrying 24 ballistic missiles. She is carrying 154 Tomahawk land attack missiles. To put that number in perspective, a modern Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, the workhorse of the surface fleet, might carry 90 missiles total, mixed between anti-air, anti-submarine, and land attack weapons. The converted Ohio carries nearly double the payload of a destroyer, all dedicated to offensive stripes, and she carries it in a platform that the enemy cannot see. Imagine a geopolitical crisis in the South China Sea or the Baltic. Surface ships are vulnerable. They can be tracked by satellites, targeted by hypersonic anti-ship missiles, and swarmed by drones. They are visible projections of power, but they are also targets. The Ohio SSGN is different. She can slip inside the enemy's anti-access area denial bubbles, those zones protected by dense missile batteries designed to keep American carriers at bay. She can loiter off a hostile coastline for weeks undetected, waiting for the command. When that command comes, the Ohio does not just strike, she saturates. She can ripple fire all 154 missiles in a matter of minutes. In the opening salvo of a conflict, a single invisible submarine could theoretically dismantle an entire enemy air defense network, destroying radar sites, command bunkers, and airfields before the enemy even knows war has been declared. This is the definition of asymmetric warfare. It turns the submarine from a deterrent into a door kicker, a weapon that clears the path for the rest of the military. But the transformation did not stop at missiles. The refit turned these 4 boats into the ultimate clandestine motherships. 2 of the large missile tubes were converted into lockout chambers. These are not for weapons, but for warriors. They allow Navy SEALs and other special operations forces to exit the submarine while it is still submerged. Consider the strategic nightmare this poses for a rival nation. The Ohio can approach a coastline silently. It can deploy a team of elite operators using swimmer delivery vehicles, mini-submarines, strapped to the deck. These teams can infiltrate a harbor, plant sensors, sabotage infrastructure, or conduct reconnaissance and then return to the submarine without ever breaking the surface. The Ohio is no longer just a missile truck. She is an underwater forward operating base. She hosts a dry deck shelter and can support dozens of special operators for extended campaigns. She has been fitted with advanced communication suites that allow her to act as a submerged command center, coordinating air and ground attacks from the safety of the abyss.
Furthermore, the Ohio has evolved into a premier intelligence-gathering platform. In the murky world of undersea espionage, information is as lethal as a torpedo. Packed with cutting-edge sensors and antenna arrays, these submarines can sit quietly in international waters and vacuum up the electromagnetic spectrum. They track ship movement, intercept communications, and map the acoustic signatures of enemy submarines. There are even whispers of capabilities to tap into the undersea fiber optic cables that carry the world's internet traffic, though such operations remain shrouded in the deepest levels of classification. She is a spy, a saboteur, and a siege engine rolled into one hull. Yet, for all her might, the Ohio class is aging. The steel hulls have been subjected to the crushing pressures of the deep for decades. The Navy knows that supremacy is not a static state. It is a constant race against obsolescence. Russia is building its Boré class. China is expanding its Type 094 and Type 096 fleets. The ocean is getting more crowded, and the silence is harder to keep. This is why even as the Ohio patrols, the shipyards of America are preparing her successor. This is the Columbia class. If the Ohio is a marvel of the 20th century, the Columbia is the spaceship of the 21st. Scheduled to begin full patrols in the coming decade, the Columbia is being built to address the singular obsession of submarine warfare: stealth. In the acoustic game of cat and mouse, being quieter than the background noise of the ocean is the only way to survive.
The Columbia will be massive, displacing nearly 21,000 tons, making it larger than the Ohio. But despite its size, it will be a phantom. Its hull will be coated in next-generation anechoic tiles, rubberized skins designed to absorb active sonar pings rather than reflect them. The shape of the hull is optimized by supercomputers to flow through the water with zero cavitation, eliminating the bubbles that create noise. The greatest leap forward, however, lies in the propulsion. The Columbia will utilize an electric drive system. In traditional nuclear submarines, the reactor creates steam, which spins a massive turbine, which is mechanically geared to the propeller shaft. Those gears, no matter how well machined, create vibration. Vibration creates noise. The Columbia eliminates the gears. The turbines will generate electricity, which will power an electric motor to turn the shaft. It is a system of ghostly silence. Inside, the Columbia is designed for endurance. Her nuclear core is a masterpiece of material science,
designed to last the entire 42-year service life of the boat without ever needing to be refueled. This eliminates the lengthy midlife overhauls that take submarines out of service for years, ensuring that the fleet is always ready, always deployed. But the future of undersea warfare is not just about bigger, quieter manned boats. The Navy envisions the Columbia and the remaining Ohios as the center of a sprawling robotic network. We are entering the age of the unmanned underwater vehicle. Imagine a future where the Columbia does not need to enter the most dangerous waters herself. Instead, she releases a squadron of autonomous drones. Some are small, torpedo-shaped scouts that swim ahead to map minefields. Others are massive, like the Orca XL-UUV, robot submarines the size of a subway car that can lay mines, jam enemy sonar, or even launch their own weapons. The Navy is investing in a concept known as the transparent ocean. By scattering thousands of sensors across the seabed and deploying fleets of autonomous gliders, the U.S. aims to make the ocean transparent to its own forces but opaque to the enemy. In this network, the manned submarine becomes the quarterback. It sits back in the deep, receiving data from its robot minions, directing the battle without ever exposing itself to counterattack. The Ohio and Columbia will not just be ships, they will be the nodes of an underwater internet of kill chains. This technological dominance is why the strategic planners in Moscow and Beijing are nervous. They are pouring billions into anti-access strategies, hypersonic missiles to kill carriers, radars to find stealth bombers, but the anti-submarine problem remains unsolved. The physics of water make it the ultimate hiding place. Light does not penetrate it. Radar bounces off the surface. The only way to find a submarine is with sound, and the U.S. Navy has spent a century mastering the art of silence. As long as the Ohio and her successors can operate undetected within the enemy's backyard, the enemy can never truly secure their maritime borders. However, we must strip away the titanium, the nuclear physics, and the Tomahawk missiles to find the true source of this capability. A machine, no matter how advanced, is an inert object without a soul. The soul of the Ohio and the future Columbia is the crew.
This human element is the variable that adversaries cannot steal via cyber espionage or replicate in a laboratory. It is a heritage of competence that stretches back to the diesel boats of World War II. It is a culture of excellence where a single mistake can mean death for everyone on board, and therefore mistakes are not tolerated. As we peer into the murky future of the 21st century, the role of the submarine force is only expanding. The ice caps are melting, opening new trade routes and battlegrounds in the Arctic. The fiber optic cables that carry the global economy are vulnerable on the ocean floor. The rise of hypersonic weapons makes surface ships increasingly fragile. In this volatile landscape, the submarine is the only platform that combines survivability with striking power. The USS Ohio, now in the twilight of her service, paved the way. She demonstrated that an old dog could learn devastating new tricks. She showed the world that a nuclear deterrent could evolve into a conventional sledgehammer. And soon, the Columbia will take the watch. So, the next time you stand on a beach and look out at the empty horizon, remember that the emptiness is an illusion. Somewhere out there, deep in the crushing blackness, a leviathan is moving. It is watching. It is listening. It is the USS Ohio, or perhaps one of her sisters, silently patrolling the frontier. She is the reason why, despite all the bluster and aggression on the world stage, there are lines that remain uncrossed. She is the ultimate checkmate, the unseen queen on the chessboard, ensuring that the peace is kept or that the war is finished before the enemy even knows it has begun. This vessel is a testament to American ingenuity, a marriage of nuclear fire and cold steel, driven by the most dedicated sailors on Earth. It serves as a reminder that in the darkest depths, there is a presence that never blinks, a guardian that never sleeps. It is the invisible fist of the United States Navy, and it is the reason the world's oceans remain, for now, under the watchful eye of the silent service.
Enjoyed the episode? Like and subscribe to Military Forces. For more in-depth content, your support helps us create more.